Do vast cities really lurk beneath Antarctica's ice? British researchers have revealed a staggering underground world with perfectly geometric valleys, mountains, and ancient riverbeds buried miles below the surface. These aren't random formations, but what built them? Let's explore. In August 1946, shortly after World War II, the U.S. Navy launched Operation High Jump, the largest Antarctic expedition ever, led by decorated explorer Admiral Byrd. Mobilizing 13 ships, 23 aircraft, and over 4,700 personnel, the 4-month mission aimed to survey military base sites during Antarctica's summer, but ended abruptly in February, with the fleet returning early amid classified reports, despite adequate equipment, supplies, and weather. Decades later, researchers uncovered chilling details, amplified after Byrd's death when his son found a hidden personal diary. Unlike official accounts, it described Byrd's squadron flying over the South Pole into an impossible inner Earth, lush green vegetation and temperate conditions replacing ice, a shimmering crystal city, and disc-shaped craft that jammed instruments, seized control of his plane, and forced it to land. After landing, Byrd was escorted into a vast cavern to meet the Master, who delivered a grave warning about humanity's nuclear weapons, detonated just a year earlier at Hiroshima and Nagasaki. The inner Earth beings expressed concern not only for human self-destruction, but for the planetary harm they shared. This aligns with post-World War II UFO sightings near nuclear sites, where unknown craft have disabled missile systems, suggesting extraterrestrial or subterranean interest in our atomic arsenal. Eager to share his story, the respected Admiral was instead interrogated at a secure facility, ordered silent, and had his reports classified as top secret. This suppression echoed across decades, with whistleblowers, military personnel, and researchers facing threats and career ruin for probing Antarctic secrets. What do you think about this? Comment and chat with me. But as Byrd grappled with the Master's chilling prophecy, he couldn't shake the pull toward the frozen edge of the world, Antarctica, where ice hides secrets that could shatter everything we know. What monstrous truths lurk beneath its endless glaciers? Antarctica stands out as Earth's most extreme continent. Nearly all its surface lies under ice up to 3 miles thick, enough to bury Mount Fuji entirely. While temperatures plunge below -50 degrees Fahrenheit, amid 200-mile-per-hour winds, home to just 4,000 scientists and personnel during peak season, it remains the ideal place to conceal massive secrets. As old maps once warned, here be monsters. Despite its discovery nearly 250 years ago, ice obscures its true surface, with radar and satellites revealing only glimpses. Ancient astronaut theorists claim this hides not just geology, but extensive human, and possibly non-human activity, including alien bases shielded by impenetrable ice and brutal conditions. For years, rumors of extraterrestrial activity in Antarctica circulated in conspiracy circles, dismissed by mainstream science. In July 2018, investigative journalist Linda Moulton Howe received classified details from a protected whistleblower, a retired Navy SEAL known as Spartan 1, with decades of service and first-hand experience there. In August 2003, as First Lieutenant Commander in Naval Special Operations, Spartan 1 joined a covert team on the southeast coast for a research reconnaissance mission disguised as a search operation. They discovered an ancient octagonal structure rising 18 feet from the ice, with the rest buried beneath. Its precise geometry indicated deliberate engineering, not a natural formation. Massive entrance doors, 18 to 30 feet thick, opened effortlessly with one finger, defying their immense weight through unknown balancing mechanisms. Inside, amid external temperatures of 40 degrees below zero, the air stayed comfortable at 68 to 72 degrees Fahrenheit, with no visible heating systems. A lime-green glow emanated from the walls, illuminating the space without bulbs, fixtures, or cables. Technology beyond current human capabilities. The walls bore unfamiliar hieroglyphic-like symbols, unrecognizable despite Spartan 1's training in archaeology and ancient languages. They resembled no known script from Egyptian, Sumerian, or Mayan civilizations, hinting at an unrecorded culture. If you want to see the long-range drone capturing terrifying images outside the Antarctic ice wall, I've also added a direct link to it in the pinned comment below this video. And don't forget to come back. The next exploration is about the connection between the Great Flood and Atlantis. Genesis chapter 6 verse 9 introduces Noah's flood, where God unleashes a deluge to purge sinners and renew the earth. Similar flood narratives appear in ancient traditions worldwide, including Mesopotamia's Epic of Gilgamesh and Egypt's Edfu creation text. Sacred texts from 5,000 years ago describe an antediluvian civilization with survivors. Plato, drawing from Egyptian sources, detailed Atlantis, an advanced society existing 9,000 years before his time, in his dialogues Timaeus and Critias around 360 BC. Debates persist on whether this pre-flood civilization was mythical or real, with some proposing remnants at the South Pole. Approximately 13,000 years ago, this flourishing civilization, originally from space and established in Antarctica, may have been flash-frozen after a pole shift, relocating Atlantis beneath the ice. Evidence includes Plato's accounts of its extraterrestrial origins, plus scientific anomalies, radar and satellite images, and eyewitness reports. As puzzle pieces align, the Antarctic mystery nears resolution. Modern whistleblowers claim government cover-ups of bases, buried artifacts, ancient civilizations, and ongoing extraterrestrial operations. Antarctica's isolation makes it an ideal extraterrestrial home base on Earth. Tap the like button to let us know this content is making a difference. And if you're watching on your phone, be sure to press the hype button right below. Every hype helps this video get published to more people, and it truly supports me in earning extra income. I promise to keep bringing you even more great content. Yet as whispers of flash-frozen Atlantis echo from the ice, one man's daring expedition would confront the hidden horrors head-on. On August 26, 1946, the U.S. scientific expedition Operation High Jump launched toward the South Pole, led by Admiral Richard Byrd, a distinguished U.S. Navy officer and explorer. Byrd graduated from the U.S. Naval Academy at Annapolis, served in World War I, and gained fame as an explorer. In 1926, he and pilot Floyd Bennett became the first to fly over the North Pole, earning the Congressional Medal of Honor. At age 41, Byrd completed the first solo flight over the South Pole, becoming the youngest person ever promoted to Admiral in U.S. Navy history. Operation High Jump was the largest Antarctic expedition to date, featuring 13 ships, 33 aircraft, and 4,700 troops. After 9 months, the flotilla returned. Reports claim Byrd's forces battled remnants of the Third Reich, and possibly extraterrestrials, with unidentified craft emerging from the water to attack. Flying saucers reportedly inflicted heavy losses. In March 1947, Byrd warned of a new enemy capable of flying pole to pole instantly. Over 70 years later, in 2018, a satellite image revealed a contrail stretching the Earth's full longitudinal length from the North to the South Pole, about 12,000 miles. Contrails typically dissipate in under 15 minutes, lasting at most 30. Only a craft exceeding 50,000 miles per hour, 10 times faster than today's quickest aircraft, could form such an unbroken trail, traversing the planet in minutes, at beyond Mach 10, over 78,000 miles per hour. This suggests an unprecedented phenomenon. In the 21st century, satellite photography has allowed anyone with an internet connection to access images of Antarctica. In 2016, a striking image was discovered of a seemingly man-made entrance carved into an Antarctic mountain range. This is a legitimate satellite image of a very large proportionate hole in the ground or the mountain range. This looks intelligently designed to suit a specific craft that flies through this particular opening. Similarly, in 2018, internet researchers released the coordinates for what they describe as a UFO that had crashed on the Antarctic island of South Georgia. The photographs are really compelling because this is not somebody making believe something is there. You can actually see the skid marks. It actually looks as though an object is moving along that ice. But the thing that so intrigued people looking at those images was that the skid marks were straight. Some ancient astronaut theorists have noted that the shape of the alleged craft is very similar to a mysterious celestial object that was detected entering our solar system in October 2017, called Oumuamua. The object was initially identified as an asteroid, but its shape, trajectory, and acceleration were so unexpected that the chair of Harvard's astronomy department, Avi Loeb, suggested that Oumuamua might be an alien probe. It's a very curious image of this large oblong tubular-shaped craft that seems to have crashed into the ice and then skidded along, and it really looks like this interstellar asteroid Oumuamua could easily be a spacecraft. The actual craft itself is right around 50 yards in length. This is the wider view of this object that quite possibly came in at an angle, ricocheted off the base of this mountain, and that's what gave it the momentum to skid several thousand feet. You can definitely see the mountain. There's some disturbance here where this track leads back to this unidentified object. This very well could be a crash landing, based on what we're seeing at the bottom of the mountain. Is it possible that online researchers using satellite technology actually located the crashed remnants of an extraterrestrial vehicle and the opening to an underground alien base? There's been a lot of talk about underground bases in Antarctica, and certain satellite photos show mountain areas that have unusual caverns in them, literal windows that are the shape of a flying saucer. Is it possible that secret, perhaps extraterrestrial bases are hidden beneath the ice of Antarctica? McMurdo Station on Ross Island's southern peninsula in Antarctica is the continent's largest research station. The U.S. government established it in 1956, and it can house up to 1,200 residents. In January 2015, investigative reporter Linda Moulton Howe received an email from a retired U.S. Navy flight engineer, known publicly as Brian. He served with the Antarctic Development Squadron at McMurdo from 1983 until retiring in 1997. Participating in rescue missions across the continent. For years, his trips encountered no unusual events, but then strange incidents multiplied. On one squadron mission in the Transantarctic Mountains, the crew spotted numerous small, round, silver objects darting between peaks in groups before suddenly taking off, an event that repeated multiple times. Soon after, during a time-sensitive medical evacuation, they flew through a no-fly zone and discovered a massive slanted cave entrance in the ice, roughly 100 to 200 feet in diameter. Their instruments failed, electricity flickered, and magnetic anomalies arose, linking the issues to the hole. After completing the rescue, unidentified men in suits, likely from Washington, D.C., not McMurdo, berated the crew, ordering them never to fly over or discuss the site again. Brian described this as one of many Antarctic mysteries he witnessed, fueling speculation about hidden archaeological or extraterrestrial secrets. Ancient astronaut theorists note similar claims from Admiral Richard Byrd's 1947 South Pole expedition, where he allegedly reported a vast ice-free opening leading to an inhabited underground world with alien beings. Upon returning to the U.S., Byrd faced intense questioning in Washington and was reportedly silenced. Such accounts raise questions. Is Antarctica home to extraterrestrial portals or entry points under military control? While pyramids in Antarctica may seem implausible, recent archaeological discoveries have uncovered long-lost pyramids worldwide, often mistaken for natural formations or hidden in remote areas. These include structures in northern Peru's plains, beneath Indonesian dirt and rubble, and possibly even in Los Angeles, California. Such global evidence suggests we should consider ancient habitation on Antarctica, perhaps a lost civilization, ancient astronauts, or the origin of humanity's earliest monuments. If the gigantic pyramid near Antarctica's Shackleton mountain range, claimed by Joseph White and supported by recent photographs of similar formations, proves artificial, it could be Earth's oldest pyramid, the master design for all others. Extensive research reveals pyramids' sophisticated structures, with one theory positing them as power generators. Strategically placed worldwide, they might have created a standing wave for wireless energy transmission, enabling ancient ships, extraterrestrials, or advanced civilizations to navigate the planet. This global pyramid grid logically implies Antarctic pyramids too. The universal presence of these non-arbitrary structures raises questions. What sparked their creation? Did they originate in Antarctica? If man-made, how could they endure in a region iced over for 12 million years, offering potential proof of extraterrestrial visitation in Earth's remote past? According to ancient astronaut theorists, Antarctica may not have been a frozen continent for as long as mainstream scientists suggest, and they say proof can be found by examining a 500-year-old map depicting the continent without any ice. East Antarctica, October 2015. Scientists at NASA announced that despite years of thinking otherwise, they are now finding that the ice in this region is actually growing, averaging 82 billion tons a year. Snowfall is currently adding ice to most of the continent. But at the same time, glaciers are rapidly melting along the coast of western Antarctica. Scientists calculate that since 2009, as much as 60 cubic kilometers of ice, the equivalent of 70,000 Empire State Buildings, is disappearing into the ocean each year. But why is the ice here melting when it is growing throughout much of the rest of the continent? We see these graphic pictures on television of the ice caps melting and falling into the sea. But it's actually only in some areas that the ice caps are actually melting. What's so strange is that through various factors, the ice in Antarctica might actually be growing and extending. We can't rule out the possibility that in certain cases, There could be entire cities that are built underground that may even be actively maintained by extraterrestrials now. And that, as those cities are powered up or expanded in size, they are giving off some kind of heat, and that heat in turn is melting the ice above them. If there are things buried under the miles of ice in Antarctica, then that would mean that they had to have happened before the last ice age. So who knows what we'll find there? Remnants of a lost civilization, perhaps even tools with which these civilizations were built. It's possible that underneath the ice will be keys for us to actually save ourselves and reclaim our ancient past. We may end up in a situation where this can't be covered up anymore, where visible ruins, gigantic pyramids, and gigantic obelisks start to peek through the ice. And at that point, it's game over. No longer can this be swept under the rug. There's no question that under the ice of Antarctica, there could be extraterrestrial craft. There could be cities down there. Bottom line is, it will shock the entire belief system of humankind. What really lies beneath the ice and snow in Antarctica? Was this frozen continent, once covered with lush vegetation, as well as pyramids that predate those in Egypt? And if extraterrestrials truly did inhabit Antarctica, could these otherworldly visitors still be hiding out there today? Edfu, Egypt, located on the western bank of the Nile, the Temple of Edfu is one of the largest and most well-preserved temples of the ancient kingdom, dating back to 237 BC. The Edfu temple is of tremendous importance. As you enter the temple, it's like you're going inside a book. It's literally full of texts. Every wall, every column, every room, every chamber is filled with texts. They're known collectively as the Edfu texts. What is very interesting is that the majority of the texts speak about the creation of the world. According to the texts, the earth was created by powerful gods who came down from the sky, and these gods first established a place known as the Island of the Egg. Two gods, they created an island in the middle of the eternal lake. Creation started with that island. The occupants of this so-called primordial mythical world, very strange creatures. There seem to be three groups of people, one called the sages, one called the builders, and the other called the Sheptu. Nobody knows who they are. These are the ones that are very mysterious, because they are said to emerge from the water. Then the Egyptians believed a series of gods came and built the first temples. It says that here the first temples were built, the first ones ever in the world, and that these became the blueprint for every temple in Egypt. Once all the creator gods have done their job in creating the world, they would meet with their big bird and ascend to the sky. Ancient Egyptians believed with all their heart that everything listed and inscribed on these walls was true, true, true. If the walls say there's an island in the middle of nowhere where gods would go and ascend to the sky, then ancient Egyptians, the devoted ones, would believe that island exists. According to the Edfu texts, not all of the occupants left, and after many generations, the island suffered a terrible fate. The texts are very different as to what happens to the occupants. These strange gods, they seem to once they have set the scene, once they have built the temples, they hand over their work to the historical lineage, and then they depart. We don't know where they go. There seems to be something very interesting here. There seems to be a war going on. The armies of these divinities are led by this falcon god, and he battles a kind of enemy represented by a snake. In the skies appeared what was known as the enemy snake. It had a name. It was called the Great Leaping One. And it was said that immediately it appeared there was a time of darkness, and there was suddenly floods that destroyed this sacred island. And when the waters receded, these original beings who were known as the Ancient Ones, or the Elder Ones, were no longer there. Perhaps the Great Leaping One, this enemy snake, was the memory of the comet that entered our inner solar system, broke up, causing devastation and destruction. Might the account of this ancient catastrophe, inscribed on the walls of the Edfu temple, be describing a natural event? Or was it a deliberate attack? An attack targeting an otherworldly civilization existing on what we now know as the Antarctic continent. Thanks for watching, and remember, the truth is out there, buried beneath the ice, waiting to be discovered. The only question is whether we're ready for what we'll find when the ice finally melts and reveals the secrets Antarctica has been hiding for thousands of years. The answers are coming, whether the powers that be like it or not. Stay curious, stay skeptical, and keep questioning the official narrative. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for being with us. Leave a comment, like to show your support, and remember to hit that subscribe button for more exciting videos. See you next time.